Hi everyone, I'm Crystal and this is Sean, Escobar. We wanted to tell you a little bit more about the ER Shred, the 11-day ER Shred. It's been all that we can talk about these days, so we wanted to kind of go into it a little bit more, kind of a more updated version of what it all is.
Right, so all the way back in 2002, my father has been credited for bringing a concept to the nutrition industry that's called nutritional cleansing. And there was this 11-day process that people would go on, and it would basically nutritionally help them to cleanse their bodies and replenish their bodies with all kinds of dense nutrition. That technology has, it's become widespread and well known, and essentially what we're doing with the ER Shred is we're beefing it up a little bit. We're taking a known, proven concept that's been around for 18 years, and we're taking parts of it that maybe, they're hard or painful or painstaking, and maybe for a lot of people they're, not so enjoyable, and we're basically making them enjoyable. We're going to break down for you how we were able to do that and how that works. And we're also adding a couple different elements that make it far, far more effective than it ever was. Don't get us wrong, it was effective before. In fact, it's what made the company what it is today. It got it off the ground, and the results that we're pouring in were just astronomical, out of this world. Again, we just found a couple ways to make
really enhance it.
Yeah. So we'll talk about those things and kind of how it came to be. First and foremost, even though we were in the nutrition world, we were suffering from several different health challenges ourselves.
Yeah, even though we were doing a lot of things right, well, what we thought were right. Like, I had actually chosen to go on a plant-based, all vegan diet for almost a year, and found out that that was actually doing more harm than good. And so it wasn't like we weren't trying.
We were trying, and we were trying to eat well, and we supplement our diets with, what we think are the right products.
Like handfuls of supplements.
Yeah, just to make sure there was no deficiencies and so forth. But something was going on because I wasn't feeling well. May, June of 2020, I had like a full-blown health crisis. I was suffering substantial bloat in the lower abdomen. I was having massive brain fog that actually I'd been dealing with for years and years. And I just kind of resigned to the fact that this is my reality. I'm in bad shape and I'm hurting. And unfortunately, it was affecting how I was treating my wife. It was affecting my overall outlook, my productivity. And it all kind of hit an all-time low in May, June, when I just started to notice that I was not myself anymore. This is where, everything that kind of is created or organized, it usually there's a stimulus. And for us, that stimulus was that. It was, you could add on top of that Crystal's constant battle trying to figure out what on earth was causing adult acne. Crystal had been battling adult acne for so long, and it's hard to see someone over the years battle, and they're just trying to wear out every resource, follow every breadcrumb trail, try every product, invest all amounts of money, go to every professional, trying to figure something out, and nothing seems to help.
Yeah.
Nothing seemed to help. Well, what happened was, through fate, if you will, we started to connect with the right resources to help us. And so one of those resources was elimination. Now, if you were to go do elimination through a functional medicine doctor, it's going to cost you a small fortune, and it's going to be painful, and it's going to be hard, and you good luck figuring out, which foods are not good for you. Good luck making it through the process. It's pretty darn painstaking. We know from our experience that it's very hard to do standard elimination diets where you find what culprits are in your diet that don't agree with your body. That's number one. Crystal and I, through resources, through research, we were able to discover a way to do that. And that was through leveraging meat. Mm-hmm. Everybody's afraid of meat. Yeah. And Crystal was obviously worried about, meat, the health, value, if you will, about
just
meat.
going off all the information that I had read about meat, and that's why I chose to go on a plant-based diet.
Meat is actually not this scary, demonic thing. Meat, our ancestors survived on meat, thrived on meat, and in fact, meat is a great baseline food. And the reason it's a great baseline food is because it's something that can nourish your body and you could potentially survive on if you had to. And, it's very nutrient dense. But one of the best things about meat that we discovered was that most of the common food culprits are not in there. So the gluten, the corn, the soy, the sugar, anything artificial, these things are not found in the meat. And so it's interesting, but it's trending right now. You can go read about it, but it's trending that meat heals the body. Now, we're not saying that meat heals the body, but there's a lot of people out there that say that meat heals the body. Now, I don't believe that. What I actually believe is that the reason people are seeing such incredible benefits from only eating meat is because they're not eating all the other culprits.
Yeah.
However, there is deficiencies. In the event that you were to only eat meat, there are some pretty substantial deficiencies. Unless you're willing to eat all organ meats as well, 2 to 3 times a week, which the majority of people don't have access to or would refuse to do even if they could. There's deficiencies. The vitamin A, the iodine, there's all kinds of different deficiencies, and you have to make sure that you have a good, well-balanced diet so that you get all the nutrition you need. And this is where we insert component number 2 of the ER shred. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that I based on all the information that I had consumed over the past couple of years, I was really nervous and skeptical about doing so much meat and kind of eliminating to just meat, because it just went against everything I ever was taught. But we were to the point where we were just at our wits' end with our health, trying so many different things and not able, for me especially, not seeing results and just kind of whatever, I am willing to give this a shot. I'm going to go all in, and I'm just going to forget about all the information that I have read that is so contradicting, and I'm just ready to give it a shot. So I think it was just, we were ready to just kind of take a chance on it and experiment with ourselves. And that's kind of where we began. We're like, all right, we're just going to try it. We're going to see how this works.
And what's funny about this is we're talking about using one big hefty meat meal per day, 7 out of 11 days. This ER Shred's 11-day process. And we were so scared because we're like, meat has been so, all the negative press,
demonized.
all the political garbage around, meat. And what's interesting again is that our ancestors, they survived on meat, they lived on meat, they needed meat, it was absolutely essential, and it's highly nutritious. With all that in mind, you're going to eat 7 meals out of 11 days. 1 meal, 7 days, 7 times out of 11 days. It's not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. We're going to have you put a whole bunch of grass-fed butter on top of the meat. It's delicious. Because the butter has such high nutritional value, and we want that fat content. Your body needs the fat. Your body will rejoice and it will thrive on those animal fats. And then you're going to put a bunch of sea salt on top of that. And that's going to be your big meat meal 7 times, 1 time per day, 7 out of 11 days. Want to make sure you understand it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, steaks and shakes. That's what it all comes down to. It's very simple.
Let's talk about the steak and shake. So we're talking now about point 2, which is the convergence of a concept, which is incubation. Now, we've had these Isoline Pro shakes and isogenics for years and years, and we all know that grass-fed sourcing for whey protein or even meat or anything else is optimal. It's the best. Because cows do not do well on corn. I'm convinced that people do not do well on corn either. But cows don't do well on corn, and it bloats them and it gives them problems, and they end up having to go on antibiotics, and then you're compromising the quality and the integrity of the food source. And so what's cool about the incubation, I wasn't able to use my own nutritional products because I have a very sensitive system, and I have to be truthful and tell my story. For years, I haven't even been able to use my own shakes because they were giving me gas, they were giving me bloat, and I would get some diarrhea. Now, I'm not the only one. I know lots of people that experience the same, and so that's why I'm so excited about point number 2, the convergence of ER Shred and how Incubation came into being. Peter Greenlaw, close friend and mentor of mine, contacted me and he told me about Dr. Marcos Ruggiero's research, and he told me how to incubate the shakes, and he showed me how you do it. It's very simple, you guys. You blend your shake, and because there's 5 different digestive enzymes in there, and you use a grass-fed whey, which is as good as it gets on the market, now you're doing something interesting. My dad had been teaching to mix the shake with room temperature water for as long as I can remember, because he kind of understood that's better for the protein source. Dr. Marcos Ruggiero, through his research, basically discovered that net protein utilization, all that means is the amount of protein that's absorbed in the body, you can take it from 20%, which is actually high for whey protein. 20% is what he originally tested, and by incubating it, it goes up to 90% net protein utilization. The way you do that is simple. You just blend it in room temperature to 100-degree water. You leave that out for 40 minutes and let it sit, set a timer, and then you can go and either drink it, warm if you like it. Most people would like to add ice to it and go reblend it and drink it, and it tastes more fresh. Or you can put it in the fridge for up to 12 hours and drink it within a 12-hour period of time, which I often do that. I blend it at night, incubate it, put it in the fridge, and I drink it. It's ready in the morning. But I got to tell you guys what's so exciting for me is because I think all these things actually work together. And like I said, I think it's fate, because when I do just the meat and I drink the incubated shake, I don't have the bloat, I don't have the gas, and I don't have any diarrhea. And I've been drinking for the last 5 weeks, I've been drinking 2 and 3 shakes every single day. And it's like manna from heaven to me. I mean, my body rejoices, it wants it, I thrive, I feel good. That's a gift for me, I got to tell you. So thank you for that, Peter. But that convergence was really critical, because why? This all works together. The deficiencies that we are potentially encountering with just the meat diet are supported and are actually buoyed up, hedged up by the incubation of the Isoline Pro Shake. So that was point 2. Point 3 is cleanse days.
With bone broth.
Are cleanse days kind of a pain in the ass?
Yes.
They are, and we're just honest people.
We're cleansing today.
Yeah, we always get frustrated when people don't tell the truth. Just tell the damn truth. So cleanse days are a bugger. And what do you do on a cleanse day? You basically drink this cleansing juice with botanicals and teas, and you drink that 4 times a day. And it's giving your body, powerful cleansing nutrients to help your body cleanse itself. But it's a chore. It's a chore, because you're going to go 2 days without any solid foods in order to suspend digestion and incorporate intermittent fasting and all the benefits around that. It's a miracle for the body, but we found a way to make it enjoyable, doable.
I used to advise women to not do the cleanse days right before their periods. You have to plan ahead when it comes to cleansing, but this whole, the bone broth has really
collagen bone broth
made it amazing.
Yeah.
And doable.
Think about why that makes it amazing. It's pretty common sense. It's like you're going 2 consecutive days without any solid food. All you're having is these little Scooby snack wafers that help balance blood sugar and curb cravings. But what's neat about the collagen bone broth, a couple things. For one, it is very satiating. It's got a high protein content. It's got no sugar in it. Maybe 1 gram of carbohydrate total. It's harmless, and it's liquid.
Liquid and collagen.
So you don't send your body into digestion mode because it's not solid food. And also, this collagen bone broth helps, with the gut properties. It's essentially going in and helping your gut.
And your
supporting
skin.
your gut.
Good side benefit is it supports skin health.
Yeah, so what we do is with this collagen bone broth, which is a phenomenon, and it was formulated by Dr. Plant, and it's good stuff, and you just drink that 3 to 4 times per day. In fact, I'll say up to 3 times per day with the ER Shred. 3 times per day you can have collagen bone broth and support your body, and I encourage you to do that. At least 2 to 3 times a day. Do it 3 times a day if you're willing, because it's going to make you feel good and satiated and well, and it's actually going to aid the process. It's going to make the process even more effective, which is so cool.
Yeah.
So now, we also didn't mention with the animal fats, we're teaching the body to be fat adaptive. Exciting component, because a lot of people have never realized what it's like to actually burn fat, animal fat, for fuel and energy. And that's what our ancestors did. That's what made their brains grow so large. When they finally figured out how to take down big woolly mammoths and eat that blubber, the brains grew like crazy. And this is science. You can go read about it. Everything evolved from there. All of a sudden, industry was born, agriculture was born, tools were born. Everything started to evolve once they get those animal fats in the body. And that's because your brain and your body will learn how to use fat, and which is highly efficient for energy and fuel. And it's a different kind of feeling. If you've never felt it before, most of you haven't, because you live on carbs and fruits and veggies and sugars and glucose. Most of you have never felt the power of being fat adaptive. And this 11-day ER shred process is giving you a taste of that. It's really exciting. Yeah. I want to touch again on the power of the food culprit concept. E stands for elimination. By eliminating all of the common food culprits. And guess what? Why are they able to do it? Why are they able to do it? Whereas before, if you go to some doctor and pay a couple grand or whatever it is to work through all of that together, good luck. Yet, why are people able to do it on this? It's interesting. It's a phenomenon, really. Mm-hmm. They're able to do it. Why? Because they feel good. Yeah. They feel good. And by the second day, you'll go, I feel great. And you'll notice, like, I don't feel drawn to all those cravings I used to have. I don't feel drawn to all the bad stuff that I usually eat. And that's really the miracle of it, is that by feeling satiated through the large incubated shakes and the meat meal, and you are getting, through the shakes, you're getting carbohydrate, you're getting good fats, you're getting all kinds of wonderful things, probiotics and, things of that nature. You're basically feeding your body this really well-balanced nutritional meal in the form of this meal replacement shake. And then you use the meat and everything is supported and you feel amazing and you feel satiated and you're empowered to take back control. Yeah. That's what we found. Yeah. And that's what we're finding.
Yeah. And the results are just flooding in, and we are just like blown away, because it started out with just us and we were doing it and we were noticing these amazing results and we started sharing it, but it's just really cool to see other people seeing such amazing results. And I wanted to quickly share my results. I've been able to clear my skin. That's the one. Number two is no more bloat or gas. I just believed that gas was a part of life. Every day. Especially on a plant-based diet. I think we can all agree that that's part of being on a plant-based diet, is you just have gas at the end of the day, and no gas. I am just so excited about that, because
think about the common sense of that. Do you see animals like walking around farting all day they don't. And it's probably because they're eating what they're supposed to eat, and they kind of inherently know through instinct what they're supposed to eat. We eat everything, and we combine everything, and we cause these chemical compounds to explode in our gut. No wonder we're so...
Well, you're right about the animals, because when you think about it, we are very strict about feeding our dogs only dog food, and anytime they do get a hold of other kinds of food, we know, we're always like, don't feed the dogs, because they're going to get sick, they're going to throw up, diarrhea. And so it's just, I think it's important that we kind of go back to the basics and keep our diets really simple, just the way animals do.
That's what this does. It gets you down to a baseline so that now you can build upon that. And by leveraging the meat and the shakes and the collagen bone broth and the regimen that my father introduced to Isogenics, the concept, which was nutritional cleansing, now it's pretty incredible. Magic happens. I'm telling you right now, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. It's unlike anything you've ever felt. I'm not generally a salesman like this. I'm telling you right now, it brought me back from the dead. It brought me back to life. All of a sudden, I'm functioning well. My bloat is gone. My abs are shredded. I have motivation to work out. Not only that, I can work out like an animal. My endurance. I mean, I could go on and on and on about all the benefits, but the number one benefit for me by far and away is my mood, how I feel, my ability to focus, my ability to create, my ability to think clearly, to listen. Oh my gosh, you guys.
He's a good listener.
it's getting better, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I felt the way I was feeling, it's hard to listen to people.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and you don't realize that, gosh, I'm trying. And you're like, listen to me, Sean, why don't you ever just pay attention? Where's your focus? And I'm just like, it's not intentional.
Yeah.
I'm on autopilot, and so guys, I hope you'll give this a chance. It's all scientifically proven in terms of, all the ingredients are on the GRAS list of the FDA. The FDA generally regarded as safe. Don't be afraid of 7 meat meals spread out over 11 days. And it's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable. And not only that, it's not just doable. I think you're going to thrive.
Yeah.
I think you're going to go, I love this, and I feel incredible, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah. We're teaching our bodies how to eat. Well, we're teaching ourselves how to fuel our bodies and just fuel our bodies with food and not as entertainment. I think that's one of the biggest things that we've felt the most empowerment around is we have been conditioned to see food as a form of entertainment, and then to think otherwise. It's like, but no, it's so fun to have it around, parties and stuff, but this is like the best tool to get to a place of just eating for fuel and no longer seeing food as the entertainment. Like, we find entertainment in all these other ways, and it's amazing. I never thought it was possible to just eat to fuel my body, not eat for pleasure and entertainment.
And to not have to force yourself to do it, to actually feel like that's what I choose because that's what I feel, that's what I want. Most animals, it
doesn't require willpower for the animals to just eat their basic diet.
Most animals eat to live.
Yeah.
We're the only animal on the face of the earth that has to live, to eat. We're the only animal that has to sweeten our food, that has to have a menu of food, a variety of food, that has to genetically modify our food, sugar it, sweeten it, salt it, that has to refrigerate our food, that creates new chemical compounds and calls them foods and then puts them in cardboard coffins and sells them to people. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's time to get down to a baseline.